You are listening to Loud on the Set with Kyle and James.
A level-headed movie critic meets a loudmouth movie cynic. And action!
All right, welcome back to the show. My name is Kyle.
This is James.
And today, James, what are we doing?
Sequels.
Part 2. JK.
I was about to say, what?
First time.
Yeah.
First time we're talking about second time arounds.
We're talking about sequels in general, Kyle.
Yeah.
And we have guests.
We have guests! Ben and Katy are in the studio. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, I'll take it. I'm going to guide this discussion.
Hit it, James!
Now, in preparing for sequels, I was thinking about it. There's a lot of ways we can approach this. We could have done initial thoughts on sequels, but I feel like sequels have so many different motivations. There's so many different categories or reasons or types of sequels that I started thinking, nope, it's better if we just run them down, make a little bit of a list of categories, and people can react accordingly. How do you feel about that?
I just thought of a new category that I'm not going to tell you yet because I'm going to drop it on you in a little bit.
All right, I'll start with one that Katy was talking about just a second ago, before the cameras were rolling, before the mics were going, and that is what we're going to call the stretch it out sequel, right? Katy, what are some of the movies in the, this was not supposed to be 2, 3, 4, 5 movies? What are some of the, we've seen those lately, right? What are those?
The biggest one that comes to mind is Shrek. I don't even remember how many there are because the first one was so good. It was so funny. And then the second one came out and you were like, well, I mean, I guess it's all right. And then it was like an exponential curve where you just dropped. And they were horrible.
Well, see, I'm going to categorize...
going, and they should have cut it off.
I'm going to categorize that as the never-ending cash grab. What I mean by stretch is when they take a book and they split it.
Oh,
that's the stretch.
God.
See, there's
Hobbit.
the prep. The Hobbit, there we go.
That made me so mad.
Why? What did they do?
The Hobbit is a small book. If you're going to make one book into many movies, they should redo the entire Lord of the Rings because those books have way more in them. But The Hobbit, the only reason they're doing it is, to make money. So they're making what could easily be one fantastic film into, 3? I think. Yeah. And they needed to add in characters and make shit up, and there was no reason to do it except for the money.
All right, give me another one that's been stretched out, Ben. I know you can name it.
Harry Potter.
What'd they do with Harry Potter?
They split up the last book into 2 parts just to leave their audiences hanging on, wanting more for those goddamn midnight showings to get even more money out of everyone's young person cash-strapped pockets.
Same deal with Hunger Games, right?
Oh,
did they do that in Hunger Games too?
Hunger Games and Twilight.
Jesus.
All of them. Interesting how those all kind of fall into the same sort of tween, teen, young adult fiction terms.
Oh, my favorite category.
All right,
it's directed directly at me.
Well, everyone's like, oh man, they shouldn't have done that. And then 8 seconds later, they're like, but I'm going to go see it anyway. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We vote with our dollars.
It's never going to stop me.
So there you go. Those are sequels that didn't even really have to exist, right? They took what could have been one movie and stretched it out. All right,
we got the stretch.
There's a lot of overlap between these categories, and Katy has already overlapped us into the never-ending cash grab.
Yep. So
Katy mentioned Shrek.
There's too many.
I have a couple of that I want to drop on you folks right now. You ready for this? Shrek.
I think Shrek also falls into the spin-off category as well because haven't they started making movies?
Puss in Boots or something like that?
Oh God, you're right. I forgot about that.
Oh, we'll get to the spin-offs
Shrek
in a
is
second.
expanding. It's sequel well
soon
of garbage.
to be every movie.
He just pops up all the time. Hello. Soon, fucking George Lucas will retrofit him into the Phantom Menace somehow. He can hang out with Jar Jar. I don't know what you're saying, Jar Jar. Oh, Misa know where the donkey is. Anyway.
Oh my.
Next.
How about this one for the never-ending cash grab? The Transformer movies.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they just suck repeatedly, but they get people
the first
in the
one wasn't even
somehow.
good.
Thank you! Can you please repeat what you just said nice and loud, and especially to Kyle?
The first Transformers movie was not good.
I know it's not good, but I like it. Remember, we talked
Deal with
about
it.
we're gonna have an episode that's gonna be the difference between
Guilty pleasure.
I liked the movie and it was a good movie.
Yeah. That's
See
an
Wonder
important
Woman
difference.
and Batman v Superman. Exactly.
There you go.
All right, how about this one? Ice Age.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
How many Ice Age movies have they made at this
That
point?
goddamn squirrel is never gonna get the nut. Just like die
And
already.
it's not funny.
It's
it
not.
was never funny.
Also, dinosaurs didn't live in the damn Ice Age.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Jesus.
How about The Land Before Time? Speaking
Oh
of
my
dinosaurs.
God.
Aren't they
there
on
were
number like
so
19
many.
now?
Million.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
man.
remember the DVDs or the VHS literally lined an entire shelf in my home.
I think they were
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Good through the first 4.
Yeah.
First 4 were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yes. I was going to have that as my horror never ending cash grab.
Yes.
Halloween.
It's like, who's
Friday
scared
the
of
13th.
Michael Myers at this point when he's just strolling down the street in the neighborhood? He's like, he's everywhere. It's like, oh, hey.
He's like
Nobody's
Mr.
afraid
Rogers.
of you anymore.
When's your next movie coming out? All right, here's one that I hope you can appreciate. Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yes. Yo, one thing I'm fascinated by is that it seems to get better reviews each time. And this reminds me of the episode you had about reviewers being on the take. Does that have something to do with that? I don't know. I think it makes an enormous amount of money internationally.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
making more and more and more and more and more and more.
After we put out that episode, sidebar, about reviewing the reviewers, there was an article the next day in one of the major publications for the United States that was talking about reviews and specifically about the sort of stuff that we were talking about. How you can just like basically buy a review, especially from like these review sites now, and just with the internet. And it was like directly reflecting like everything that we spoke about, which I thought was
Kyle,
pretty interesting.
they're tapping our phones and whatnot, man.
They must be.
Or they're listening to us. Anyway, here's some more. Well, the Never Ending Cash Grab one. Ooh, that can go on for Rocky, Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, God. You
It's
know?
not scary anymore.
Alien?
Yes.
Oh, reaching
there were
that point.
4 aliens, then Alien versus Predator, then Prometheus, which is kind of, I don't know how that's really related, and then there was Alien, whatever the recent Covenant. Jesus Christ. You had a good thing. The good thing going.
I had that one underneath my unconventional naming conventions of sequels,
Oh.
right? Where you don't just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start
Yeah.
doing all these wacko things like
Yeah.
making it plural, putting a colon in a phrase after it, and yada, yada, yada.
Jurassic
right?
World.
Yeah, Jurassic Park,
World.
Jurassic World.
How about James Bond? Speaking of never-ending
Ooh.
sequels, there,
That's also a never-ending character. Because
Yeah.
he's not locked in time.
we're like on the 25th film coming out.
Yeah.
Jesus
But
Christ.
I think that one works because they changed the actors, you know? So I think there are some like bad apples in the whole James Bond universe in terms of the films, but there's a reason it survived, I think.
Yeah, and it's more of like a genre, like a James Bond is like a genre as
Yeah.
opposed to like there being direct sequels to it.
Yeah.
I agree with that. How many spin-offs can we think of?
Oh Jesus.
Spin-offs are a form of sequel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Check,
Yeah.
check. Madagascar and then the Penguins of Madagascar are like a spin-off.
Yep. It's interesting how a lot of
Oh.
these movies sucked and yet they got spin-offs.
Those goddamn Minions.
The Minions!
I've
Oh.
never been so angry.
That's a good one.
I hate the Minion situation.
They're horrible. And the first,
coming
Sing
from,
it, sister.
coming from
Yeah,
the
right?
animated film lover.
yeah, Despicable Me was a funny film. It was hilarious. It was great. And then, yeah, too many sequels. And now there's the spin-off with those tiny yellow demons.
Yeah, they look like Twinkies with like
With
with,
an eyeball.
monocles.
Or Tic Tacs, right?
Yeah.
Like big Tic Tacs.
Oh my
Hate
god.
it.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of them, but
The spin-off situation, you always know you're in for something like really bad when like a secondary bullshit part of the movie that wasn't supposed to be the main focus gets like revived into what's going to carry on the series. In some interesting ways it's played out though, like with Frasier. Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers. I guess that was successful.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
That's
There we
a
go.
what is that?
We're branching out into TV
Yeah.
right now.
Oh,
What
Pardon
about
me, James.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Could you count that as a spin-off of
You
the Harry Potter
absolutely
universe?
Oh, yeah,
count that as
definitely.
Spin-off. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
What about like Cars,
I
Planes,
love that.
Cars and Planes,
Yeah.
yeah.
and whatever?
Cars and planes.
Planes, trains, and
I was
automobiles.
about to say.
Anything with transportation in it.
All right, here's another category for you before we get to the very easy ones of like good ones and bad ones. The why I only have one entry for this category, but the why oh why was a sequel ever made? And I just thought of this for Jaws. Because I thought about there's some movies that should be untouchable. We've talked about this before on the podcast. Like, please God, don't ever remake, reboot, or sequel this movie. And I thought to myself, E.T. I remember being a little kid and I was like, no, he swear to God, they'll never make an E.T. sequel. And that's a good thing. E.T. is a terrific, standalone, beautiful movie. But somehow Spielberg allowed Jaws to take on that ridiculous, Rocky-esque, never-ending sequel story. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why, oh, why did Jaws get sequeled? Anybody?
No.
No, I don't know.
No idea.
I nothing.
I can't. It's interesting because the impact. Reading about the impact from Jaws, it seems like people were so terrified and like obsessed in that like fear that it was just like inevitable that it had to, somebody was either going to make another shark eating movie, or they were just going to be like, everybody wants this to happen, you can make it and make it Jaws 2 and get money, or somebody else is going to make it and have it happen. So
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I feel like that one was inevitable. Yeah.
All right, last one is, I find this one interesting. That is the time lapse. I can only think of two. When they live so much time go by between sequels. And I'm looking at you, Independence Day, right? A full 2 decades later.
I'm looking at you, Joe Dirt.
Someday.
Straight to DVD sequel. David Spade.
Oh, yes.
What the fuck?
You know who told me about Joe Dirt?
Chris.
Another shout out
Oh
to
my
Chris.
God.
Yeah.
Chris is just at the bottom of the barrel, just dredging the garbage
They're making
out.
a sequel to that. Anyway, shout out to Chris. All right, so that's the those are some of the categories. I think we'd have some fun with some of those. Again, there's a lot of overlap between them. But now I just want to open up the conversation. Kyle, you take it away. You guide us. Talk to us of your feelings about sequel in general, because I know you have thoughts.
Yes.
You always have thoughts.
I do have thoughts. And one of the interesting things is when sequels become better than the first movie, which does not happen often, but it happens from time to time. And then there's another phenomenon which brings up the surprise category I wanted to introduce, which is kind of like a sequel, but that is the reboot situation. So when you have the true reboots, and it ends up being, I don't know, Star Trek now, this like next generation of Star Trek, or with Star Wars. I mean, now we're in sequel, prequel, and new movies, land, and everything, whatever's going on with that. But everything, after enough time passes, like you were saying, it almost inevitably becomes a reboot because it can't theme well. Indiana Jones, perfect example. What's happening with Blade Runner, which I am intrigued and fascinated by, is kind of straddling that line too, because you're taking something just like you said, like that is an E.T., like a work of art, and you're trying to make a, when people use the term like spiritual successor, that's where I'm like, oh shit, that means it's gonna be real bad, because somebody probably has been wanting to make a follow-up for so long, but too much time has passed, so many new people are involved, the vision is lost, that you're in reboot territory. And then you encounter something like the Marvel conglomerate now, where everything is a sequel, but is also connected, but is a reboot. But I mean, what Spider-Man are we on now?
Oh my god.
What Spider-Man is happening?
8.
What generation of Spider-Man are we in? Is this like 3 or 4? What the fuck is going on?
And which X-Men are dead and which are alive?
Right.
All of them.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think that the reboot thing opens up interesting territory now, because they don't even have to make a sequel. They can just make the same movie again, updated, and it almost counts as a sequel. Like Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters 2, for all intents and purposes, is like the new generation of Ghostbuster. And and since they're using the same name and the same everything with the reboot, it's like tied there, but it's also just the same movie again. So we're like really, really distilling the well down now into like what exactly that even is anymore. I can't remember the last true sequel that I saw that was like a continuation of the storyline of something that I saw in a movie. Can you think of the last time you saw
that just truly picked up
a direct sequel that was like that just followed up?
Well, I'm assuming
Lord
that
of the Rings.
Yeah,
is that the last one that you've seen? That's why I'm curious, is because the last ones that I can think of are so long ago that it's like the idea of the sequel, since things are moving so fast, like doesn't even matter anymore because they're just in reboot territory. And I don't even think of the Iron Man and all the Marvel stuff as sequels because everything is just so webbed together in just a giant incestuous mess that everything is just like its own disaster and like
So do you mean something that they planned for? So something that they didn't plan to make into a sequel, but it flowed well from? Because there's so many premises you can just riff on over and over, like Paranormal Activity.
Right.
Oh,
you can make one,
Well,
and it just goes and goes.
Like
it's the same
something
shit.
that's like a continuation of like a storyline that would be like a follow up and would advance the the plot. Something.
And I can't think of one that wasn't a book first.
And what's that?
Everything that I'm thinking of was a
Oh
book.
yeah. Which is interesting. It's as if the authors put more time into the story and characters than other folks would.
Yeah, I'm curious though. Listeners, help us out.
Help us out. I can't think of the last one that I saw that wasn't just like a cash grab sequel that was just slapping a 2 on the end of something and just doing the same thing over again.
Someday there will be another Incredibles movie, which will be a great day when it finally happens. But that's one that I'm holding out hope for because it's been so long since the Incredibles came out that this one hopefully will be good, and it did leave at the end room for it to pick up in a new spot. So
because the baby was a demon.
I'm gonna hold out.
How do I know that? I don't know. No, that would be a sort of
fingers crossed,
not premeditated sequel, right? Like, I think I understand what Kyle's saying. That is, everything is designed way ahead of time to be this big, massive mess, and so it's understood. Like, it's not even a sequel. It's like, I'm going to make 5 of these movies.
Right.
Which is why we stay after the credits, because we know there's going to be something
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
And so when was the last time a sort of genuine, like, you know what? I want, like, I told the story of that character, and now I want to keep telling it.
Right.
Like, a few years later. That would be true of The Incredibles.
I
give you that.
I don't think of Mission Impossible or James Bond or anything that we've talked about so far as a sequel, because it's just using, it's a new film that it doesn't follow, like, that thread. They could just stop or start whenever they wanted to.
The character progression doesn't really change at all.
Exactly.
It's just like, what new scenario can we plop this character into?
It's like the Peanuts, right? They stayed the same age forever. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Just keep running through shit.
That can lead us into what are some of the best and worst sequels.
Oh yeah.
That you wanted to get to.
Right. I can name quite a few. I know they always say like, oh, the 2 sequels that were better than the originals. The 2 classics are The Godfather Part 2, right? And Empire Strikes Back. Those kind of broke the mold in terms of the sequels inferior to the original, and those are way better than the originals. But I thought of some more in the modern day. Even though I can't stand them and I don't watch them, but isn't it genuinely accepted that one of the Toy Story sequels is better?
Oh my god, I was just thinking of Toy Story because that's one where there's so much time passed between the Toy Story.
Toy Story 2 is arguably better than the first one.
Yeah?
Ooh. I didn't like Toy Story 2 as much as the first one, but I agree it was a great movie.
Hence the argumentative part of the...
Interesting.
What
about Toy Story 3?
I crybabied at Toy Story 3 because I was the same age as Andy.
Yep, going to college.
Literally that summer, I was seeing it right before. The summer before I went off to college was
that sucks.
Seeing Andy go off to college. And
That
I was
rough.
like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing with my life, and I was terrified. And,
you knew you were going to dig up dinosaurs.
I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. I thought it was a pipe dream.
And that's a movie that I think was made more for the adults than for the kids. Because it was for us that grew up watching it and watching the sequels.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was...
A lot of people, and it's very different for me, and I don't agree with this, but a lot of people think Aliens is superior to Alien.
I think it's a good action movie.
Yeah, it's a different... They switch genres in between. Right. I don't think you can compare the two.
But I think that's a great example of a continuing storyline that is also an enhancement in the ways that they wanted to take it.
I get, but it was closed enough in the sense that Sigourney Weaver didn't have to go back to fight more aliens after the first movie. You know, like,
right.
I guess it's just like, oh, like, let's find a way to get Sigourney Weaver back fighting aliens. Cool. And then they did it well. So, like, I just don't feel like I still feel like that's contrived.
Yeah.
Even though it was a good, I liked the movie. But Terminator 2.
There you go.
Terminator 2. I thought Terminator 2 was by far the best movie in the Terminator series, personally.
Absolutely.
But then it fell into the never-ending cash grab category.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun,
God.
dun, dun.
Terminator 2 is excellent.
Yeah, it was good. Holds up today too. Skynet.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. We are in
And
Skynet.
Liquid metal cyborgs. I see those all the time now.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
In fact, I think George Lucas is a liquid metal cyborg now.
Oh my god.
All right, here's one. Hey, let's get into a genre we rarely talk about. Superhero movies.
Oh, what?
What's that?
Captain America: The Winter Soldier is an excellent movie.
It's better
It's
than
way
the
better
first
than the
one.
first one.
Never
Way
saw it.
better. Ooh,
I never saw it either.
It is way better.
It's way better.
If you've seen
I like
Captain
the first
America
one.
1, you deserve to watch Captain America 2 because
Yeah.
it is much better.
Captain America 1's an okay, jingoistic origin story. You know, go watch Wonder Woman. Then you've seen Captain America, right? But the second one is a really good political thriller. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
What about Lethal Weapon 2?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I think that's a contender. Yeah.
I think Lethal Weapon 2 is at least on par with Lethal Weapon. Not that this is anything that matters. I'd like to stress. But I think that might be the case.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. Similar to Lethal Weapon 2 in that.
I don't know if I've seen Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Definitely. I'm aging. I'm dating myself now.
I was so in love with Beverly Hills Cop 1 that I couldn't do it.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Which Spider-Man?
The only Spider-Man that matters.
Doc Ock.
Doc
Yeah,
Ock.
that was considered.
I'm
way
gonna
better
hold a
than-
star in my tentacles.
Yeah,
I like that
Tobey
one.
Maguire era
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
was...
Yeah, to Spider-Man 3 I thought was terrible.
Oh my god.
No, it was
Yeah,
garbage.
nothing
Total
went
garbage.
faster.
Just montage
downhill
of him
than that.
dancing and going like,
Just sadness.
Oh yeah,
That was
like
emo
pointing at people
Spider-Man.
and oh my
Oh,
god.
but emo
Yeah,
Spider-Man,
it was pretty hilarious.
I'm so glad exists in this world.
Oh god.
Because it's something that we can all reflect on and all know. You can't meet somebody out on the street
Yeah.
and know that they think anything other than that
Yeah.
emo Spider-Man was the worst. So it's something we can unite over,
It's
you
true,
know?
it's true.
So I'm
Nothing
glad
brings
it's out
people
there.
together.
Like emo Spider-Man.
that.
The resentment.
How horrible that scene was.
Okay, what other good ones are there? Good sequels.
Let's see.
What's the worst sequel everybody's ever seen, too?
Ever seen?
Yeah.
Wow.
It can be in a trilogy, quadrilogy.
Sharknado 2, the second one.
But that's like so deliberately tongue-in-cheek. Like, I don't even know if you can, how do you even assess that?
You know, every Sharknado kind of blends together to me, and I have seen them all. Actually, no, that's not true. I haven't seen Sharknado 4. It just got released.
Oh Jesus!
But I have seen Lavalantula, and I do hope there's a follow-up sequel to that, because that was some brilliant satire.
I can hit some bad sequels.
Yes.
But I don't know about like the worst sequels. None of these were that bad. The Bourne movie, the one with Jeremy Renner.
Oh, is it terrible?
No, it wasn't terrible, but it was just like, you had a great trilogy. Now you're gonna bring in another lead actor and then not do a good job.
And then they blew
And then
it,
they
and
come
then
back.
they brought
And then they
back
came
Matt
again
Damon,
and blew it
right?
with Matt Damon. So it's like, oh my god.
That trilogy
That was
was
bad.
really good. That's
Yeah.
one that stands up where each one of those pieces, and arguably since they had more resources, the second and third ones are much better than the
They were
first
good,
one as
yeah.
well. Those all are consistently good.
Not to,
Action films across the board.
Yeah.
Perhaps the worst one. Oh my god, this is a tough call. But Independence Day 2 is just the worst.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But so much time had passed from the original that the disappointment factor wasn't there. Like
Right.
they didn't have gold anymore, and they fucked up gold.
Yeah.
They just took something from the past and like, they didn't do it well. But I've said this before on the podcast. It may not hit home with some of our panelists here, but holy shit, I thought the sequels to Iron Man was so bad. That to me was
Yeah.
such wasted gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had such a perfect movie in the first Iron Man,
thought
and
they
it
pretty
got
Yeah.
so bad so fast.
Yep.
They couldn't stop.
Yeah, it was a rolling downhill snowball, and it
Yeah.
just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And the third one was just a waste of money.
Yep. And
So
it
that's
was
mine.
it was just a total loss of sight, you know. they just weren't in control anymore. The market was demanding more than they were creating, and that was the end of it. It was just over before it even started.
I heard Zoolander 2 was really bad.
Oh, I heard that too. And Anchorman 2 I heard was also horrible.
Anchorman 2 was bad.
Yeah.
But also I don't like Anchorman 1, really. So.
I'm not a Will Ferrell guy.
Me neither.
Yeah.
We should talk.
We should talk.
We should
You
do
know,
podcast.
a spin-off that was good?
Ooh.
We could do a
The
spin-off
Lego
podcast.
Batman movie.
The Lego Batman movie.
Oh, the Lego
Hilarious.
franchise is quickly becoming the king of spin-offs. So they have a Ninja Go movie, whatever the fuck that's
Really?
called,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be Lego Ninjas or something.
There's a
yeah.
Batman movie. There was the
That-
original Lego movie,
Yeah,
right?
the original Lego movie was, I think, hilarious, and then the Lego Batman movie spin-off, I think, was also
You
hilarious.
would appreciate the Lego Batman movie from the standpoint of they just lampoon
Yeah.
the obsession with Batman.
Oh, yeah?
So they use it as their vehicle to at one point satisfy the nerds and at the other point and laugh at the nerds and be like, all of this is so dumb, like we're wasting our time, why are we obsessing over this? This is so stupid. It was great satire. I loved it.
I, not to pigeonhole myself too much in my own little fossilized category, but Jurassic Park 3 was total garbage.
Oh my!
Yep.
I thought it was worse than Jurassic World. If you gave Jurassic World an F, I'd give Jurassic Park 3 an F triple minus. Like just 55 meters underground, bringing the backhoe. That's where Jurassic Park 3 is. Oh my god.
And I'm just realizing right now we have to retroactively do something really quick that'll go into this podcast and be canon. But, James, Ben, what do you grade Jurassic Park? The
Oh,
retro
we didn't give
review
it a
of
grade.
Jurassic
Give it a
Park.
grade.
Holy cow! I give it an A.
Oh yeah, solidest of A's.
Yeah, I give it
It
an A.
wasn't
Give
a-
it an A+.
It wasn't. No, I'm not going to give it an A+. It was not a perfect movie.
I give
There
it an
was
A as well.
some editing, continuity errors, a couple things, but it was a very solid, lithified A.
A's all around solidified. Katie, James, 35% of a grade for Wall-E.
Oh yeah, we didn't grade Wall-E either. Go ahead, Katie.
Well, I feel like I'm an easy critic.
I'm also giving it an A.
Yeah.
I have to give it an I. The first ever I.
The first ever I.
Online said incomplete.
Incomplete. Meh, meh.
That's such a cop out, though. Oh well.
What
What can I do? What can I say?
What
Right?
can you
I
say?
gave it an A. Okay.
Incomplete. Inconclusive.
There you go.
Because you might see the rest of it. Okay,
Yeah,
anyway.
I doubt
Sequels. Wall-E might get a sequel. Jurassic Park got a fuck ton of sequels. Jurassic World.
Jurassic
Is gonna
World
get a sequel.
2 is coming out. Holy shit.
Did you see Jurassic World?
Yes.
Oh, she's smiling.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Did you see the sequels to Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
2 and 3?
Ages and ages ago.
Okay. If you had to, which one was better? Jurassic Park 2, 3, or Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park 2.
Really?
Love it. Yeah,
So
my
you
category of sequels is 2, World, 3 as a distant third in terms of hated
You know,
Jurassic Park
okay,
3.
I liked one aspect of Jurassic Park 3, and that was the, I can't even remember what it's called, the avid, why can't I think of, an aviary. Oh my god. I liked the aviary because in the book, I liked the aviary sequence that they had,
Yeah.
and once I read the book, I was like, that was brilliant, why wasn't that in the movie? And I was like,
Yeah.
they probably had limitations on technology and stuff at that point
Yeah.
to do that. So when it did show up in the third one, I was like, okay, I was waiting for that, and it was
Yeah.
kind of cool in parts,
Oh,
but
man. Yeah.
everything else was...
Pteranodon didn't have teeth, nor did it have grasping feet.
Nice. All right, Kyle, I got something here we can wrap
Yes,
up with. You
wrap
ready
it
for
up.
this? Everybody?
Wrap it up.
I am on an internet site called IMDb.
Never
Yes.
heard of it.
International movie, what,
Never heard of
database?
it.
No?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Internet
I was
movie
like,
database. Internet movie database.
International,
Got to
is that
cite
what
our
I said?
sources here. I'll read off a list of upcoming movie sequels.
Oh, good.
And we can react to them.
That's
Alright.
perfect.
You ready for
What
that?
a way
All
to
right.
end.
Here we go.
God, we're so smart on the fly.
Feel free to categorize them, give your opinion as we go. Ready? How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh my god, so
3.
excited.
3?
So excited.
Oh, I saw 2, but I don't even remember it.
Oh, it was so sad.
Ugh.
Never seen any of them.
Oh,
Yeah, me neither. What?
Knee-jerk response is ugh as well.
Yes.
All right.
I loved the first one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the second.
But don't you already know how to train the damn dragon by now?
Yeah,
That's
change
not-
the title.
Yeah, 5 habits of highly successful people. 6 habits. We found the 6th. ever see that shit? Like business books that all of a sudden miraculously find the next. Anyway.
Oh my god.
All right, Avatar 2.
No.
Huh.
Slated for 2020. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that was slated
That's
for like
yeah.
what 10 years ago too.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next one that gets pushed out to like 2048.
Well, I'll tell you why
Nobody will care
they have to
anymore.
make this movie now because of massive sections of. Is it Disney World and Disneyland have Avatar-themed areas? Or it's
Really?
Universal Studios. One of two. So theme parks are being redesigned around.
Wow.
What is the name of the planet again? Pandora?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Pandora.
There'll be sequels. Pirates of the Caribbean. How did we
Oh,
forget
Stop
about that?
making
God.
That's the
that.
never-ending
My
cash grab, right?
God.
Never
Yeah.
ending cash grab for sure.
Please let it
The
die.
Amityville Horror series has become very much a cash grab thingy. Let's see. No way. This has got to be a rumor. This can't be true.
Hit it.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2?
What?
No.
No.
Send it to hell where it belongs.
Oh my god.
There's going to be
How many years
speaking of
between
spin-offs,
those?
there'll be a Venom movie in the Spider-Man universe, right?
Wait, when did Roger Rabbit come out?
Oh, God, in
so
the 80s.
long ago.
80s, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, what was the next one you said?
Venom.
Venom. The villain of the Spider-Man series.
Wow.
He was in Spider-Man 3, the emo
Yeah.
Spider-Man movie. So he'll get his own movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, did anybody see that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds in space? What was that movie
Life?
called?
Life?
That
Yeah.
was setting up for a sequel.
Yeah.
Was it really?
I
Yeah.
never saw that.
It was one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time.
That's
This
pretty-
cannot be true. This cannot be true.
Ugly starfish thing.
Austin Powers 4?
No.
Oh.
Whoa.
I feel like I'm just in rumor
Yeah,
mill at this
baby.
point. I feel like
I
I'm
should
just-
arrest Mike Myers at this point.
I feel like I'm just in like total speculation. Men in Black?
No.
Pacific Rim?
Oh, I did hear
Men in
about
Black.
Pacific
Wait, which Men in
Rim.
Black are we on now? Is this 4?
That's too
Rush
many.
Hour 4? Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker? Is Chris Tucker still alive?
I thought Chris Tucker was in prison for like tax fraud or something.
Oh, you know what's
That
another
could
one?
totally be not true.
You know what?
That was like, I think I saw that on like
Disclaimer.
a checkout line or something.
You know what?
National
Tabloid
Enquirer.
magazines.
You know what movie went really quick to like just one of the quickest jumps to cash grab world I've ever seen in my life is Taken.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, Liam Neeson became
Yeah.
Bruce Willis style.
You can
action.
classify every movie that Liam Neeson has been in since Taken that wasn't Taken as a spin-off of Taken.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same.
I have a particular set of skills.
Kyle's cool with that. All right, I guess I'll find. Shit, can I find any more? Oh my god! If this happens, I'll drop dead on the
We're
spot.
gonna end on this one. Hit it.
National Treasure 3.
Here's the thing. Nick
Oh,
Cage movies are
gosh.
tremendously fun as like drinking game movies.
Yeah.
So like just for that, I'll let it slide.
It's interesting to just see him on screen because you just never know what's gonna happen.
No.
Like his performance are so disjointed and nonsensical that it's like it is almost fascinating to be like, what will you do next? Because it won't be what I predict it will be.
Yeah.
Your
Can't wait
face
to
will
see
look
what
weird and you'll
treasure
probably
he's
yell.
stealing.
Oh yeah, what will he steal this time? Let's predict the plot of National Treasure 3. That's how this will end. James, what do you think will happen?
Oh shit, he'll Oh god, I can't even. No, throw it to somebody else. I gotta be funny and creative about this.
Ben,
Oh man, what is Nick Cage gonna steal?
where's he
Maybe
gonna go? What's he gonna do?
I think he'll go meta, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna find that warehouse where they're keeping all the weird stuff from Indiana Jones movies. He's gonna break in and bust something out from that. It's gonna cross-pollinate between multi-sequel films into the ultimate garbage fest.
There you go. Katie?
Wow. I don't know how to top that. I mean,
Pretty easily, probably.
what do we have in this country that is special in treasure? I mean, he already stole the Independent Declaration. Like the first flag, maybe?
Betsy Ross first flag.
Yeah.
I got one. You ready for this one? What is this character's name in these fucking movies?
No idea.
Who knows? Nicolas Cage has to steal the Shroud of Turin to trace back to Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
There's a secret code hidden in the Shroud of... You know what the Shroud of Turin is?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god.
no, that would not get past the producer's table.
man.
I think that he's going to reenact the film The Road to El Dorado, except it'll be live action, and somehow they'll end up in Atlantis, and he'll be scuba diving.
In Atlantis from El Dorado?
Yes, and he'll find like a piece of like a NASA spaceship that's been like sunk down into Atlantis, and they'll be like worshiping it, these like mer people, and he'll have to steal it back from them because it has some secret like alien treasure in it. Yeah. That's my idea. That's better than anything they'll pitch.
Sequels!
And with that, we out of time. Thank you, Ben and Katy.
Thank you very
joining us
much
for our sequel conversation. This has been Loud on Set with Kyle and James, and today, Katy and Ben. Check us out on YouTube and iTunes, anywhere you find podcasts. We are there. Send us an email, loudontheset@gmail.com. What was your favorite sequel? What was your least favorite sequel? Let us know. And with that, go out and see some good movies, and have a wonderful time.
See you later.
Tune into part 2.
Coming to a podcast near you.
Yeah!
And cut.